Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Wednesday met with U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris at the sidelines of the APEC leaders meeting in San Francisco, with both leaders affirming the strength of the alliance between Manila and Washington, as well as their shared commitment to uphold international law, including in the South China Sea. This as the two countries continue to seek deeper security ties and broaden economic cooperation. Marcos and Harris also welcomed the conclusion of negotiations for a landmark agreement on a civil nuclear cooperation between both countries. The 123 agreement, which will be signed Thursday, will provide legal basis for U.S. exports of nuclear equipment and material to the Philippines. According to Philippine Ambassador to the U.S. Jose Manuel Romualdez, Marcos Jr. is also set to hold meetings with Peruvian President Dina Boluarte and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who are also attending the summit. In his speech at the APEC CEO Summit, Marcos Jr. underscored the importance of greater cooperation among countries to ensure that no one is left behind in the pursuit of economic and financial goals.
We can only be as strong as the weakest members of our economies, of our societies. Regardless of how much progress we make in these halls, if such does not translate to a better quality of life, about resiliency for all, we will remain derailed by even the most subtle of shocks and insecurities that are beyond our control.
President Marcos Jr. also joined administration officials as well as the country's business leaders at the Philippine Economic Forum Wednesday, where he highlighted the country's strong economic growth and the Philippines' potential to be the leading investment hub of Asia. The president also touted to potential investors in the Asia-Pacific region the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund, which he says will provide additional funding for priority projects of the government, including his administration's flagship infrastructure projects. So far, at least 80 potential infrastructure projects have been identified by government that could be financed through the Maharlika Investment Fund.
These projects offer high rates of return and significant socio-economic impact. Currently, we have identified about 80 potential infrastructure projects that are financeable through that fund, the Maharlika Investment Fund. With a solid reform agenda and unabating growth amid headwinds, the Philippines is ready to take off as a leading investment hub in Asia. A wealth of opportunity awaits you in the Philippines, and we are ready to explore new horizons with your investments in the coming years.
While not giving details, NEDA Secretary Arsenio Balisacan described what type of projects that the Maharlika could invest in.
Based on the expected rates of returns, kasi yung dapat yung Maharlika medyo mataas yung return. But the objective is to grow the fund so that you can have more resources for investing in strategic industries. Basically, mga urban-based projects like tollways, yun ang mga very profitable possible sa
Marcos Jr. meanwhile expressed the Philippines' readiness to embrace artificial intelligence during a roundtable discussion with Silicon Valley tech companies. He noted that the Philippines is crafting a national AI strategy to position the country as a center of excellence in artificial intelligence. The president also witnessed the presentation of 5 agreements between Philippine and American companies. American firms Astranis and Orbitz have partnered to deploy internet satellites to far-flung communities in the Philippines. Marcos said the $400 million partnership will help bridge the country's digital divide and service 10 million users and 30,000 villagers. Pharmaceutical manufacturer Lloyd Laboratories and US-based DifGen Pharmaceutic meanwhile signed a joint venture agreement to boost production of medicines in the Philippines. Under the deal, an investment of up to $20 million will be undertaken by Lloyd Laboratories to establish and operate the first US FDA-approved manufacturing facility in the Philippines. Meanwhile, the Philippine Science and Technology Department has partnered with California-based tech company Atmo to develop Asia's largest AI-driven weather forecasting program.
A world where the bright minds will be illuminated.
As world leaders and top CEOs converge in San Francisco for the APEC summit, demonstrators filled the streets to protest the event, which they believe only profits the rich and powerful while doing nothing to address important issues such as poverty and climate change.
Imagine the millions and millions of dollars that are being spent by, for example, President Marcos, people from across the planet to attend this summit with their entire cabinet. How many millions of dollars are being spent on their hotel rooms at the Ritz-Carlton? Tax dollars are being spent to float the bill for these world leaders who are here to cut deals that make money for the rich and just drive everybody else into poverty. So we say no.
2 House officials maintain that the House of Representatives is not out to destroy Vice President Sara Duterte or her family. House Deputy Majority Leader for Communications, ACT-CIS Representative Erwin Tulfo maintained that the House leadership is not plotting the Vice President's impeachment over her use of confidential funds in 2022.
Hindi, parang it's not enough. Parang hindi, it will not hold water. Hindi siya ganun kalakas na pwede. Siguro baka kung may mga in the future other facts, details, then that will be different, di ba? Pero for now kasi wala eh. Kung anong impeachment because of CIF, will that be enough substance? I don't know. It will still have to be reviewed. Pero like what the leadership is saying, there's none. Walang pag-uusap, walang plano pagbalik namin sa Lunes, pagdating ng speaker, no such thing, no impeachment right now versus the Vice President.
Before this, House Deputy Minority Leader Franz Castro claimed congressmen have been talking about the impeachment, though nothing is serious. She even called such talks a sign that the rift in the so-called unity team of the Vice President with the President is growing. Tulfo disputed Castro's statements.
I don't know where Kong Castro got it, kaya medyo nagulat din yung leadership kanina kung saan nanggaling yon. And I found out nga, nagsabi sa akin ng media na galing kay Kong Castro. Alam naman natin yung mga grounds ng impeachment. At this point, wala eh. Wala tayong nakikita na she violated the Constitution. So bakit i-impeach yung tao?
For Tulfo, it's nothing but malicious gossip, but maintains they will have to scrutinize any future complaints.
Intriga. That's what I can say. And that's what everybody, the leadership will say, intriga. There's something na the House is going after the Duterte family. There's no such thing, ma'am, as unity against the Vice President, unity behind Speaker Romualdez. Our marching order from the Speaker, unite para sa taong bayan and move forward. Hindi yung unite behind the Speaker, unite versus Sara Duterte and her family. There's no such thing.
In his own statement, House Majority Leader Manuel Jose Dalipe called the supposed plot to impeach the Vice President fake news, baseless and detrimental to political unity. In an interview on a TV program hosted by Pastor Apollo Quiboloy Wednesday night, the Vice President's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, sees a potential face-off between Sara and the Speaker in the 2028 presidential elections.
Itong si Romualdez is posturing to be a candidate for president. Ngayon, akala niya, ang kalaban niya si Inday. Because si Inday yung vice president, naturally, she might want to go for the presidency. Ito namang Romualdez, kasi sila yung power, kapag pinsan niya si Marcos, they want to consolidate. So, kinuha niya lahat, pati lahat congressman, lahat ng mga PDP.
Laban.
Wala nang naiwan.
But Dalipe denies Speaker Romualdez is plotting to take out the Vice President as a potential rival in 2028. Dalipe said no decision has been made about the Speaker's 2028 plans and that he has always respected the Vice President. Dalipe likewise explained that any impeachment complaint will go through a rigorous process before it is even considered by Congress. Dalipe tells the Vice President's supporters there's no basis for concern over the rumors so long as she's done nothing wrong, and he urged the public to refrain from spreading rumors. Last week, the House approved a resolution in defense of the chamber and Representative Martin Romualdez's speakership after former President Rodrigo Duterte lashed out at the House for taking away the Vice President's confidential funds. The House also took away the deputy speakerships of two known Duterte allies. At the same time, former President Duterte's party mates have started moving to other parties.
Shares in Asia were mostly down Thursday alongside U.S. equity futures, while treasuries were steady despite fresh signs of resilience in the U.S. economy. In China, home prices fell the most in 8 years, while shares in Japan and South Korea are also down. In the Philippines, the PSC index added 0.33% to close just a touch below 6,200 ahead of a widely expected rate pause by the BSP Monetary Board in the afternoon, which was announced after trading hours. AB Capital Securities' Jovis Vistano, though, asks, then what?
The possibility that we may have seen the last in terms of the rate hike for the near term. What's crucial really is how long will the BSP keep the 6.5% rate?
Okay.
Meaning will stay elevated for a while, given the supply side risk that they have mentioned.
In corporate stories, Philinvestland says it has received from the SEC the order rendering effective the registration statement for the shelf registration of the company's up to 35 billion peso denominated fixed-rate bonds and the corresponding certificate of permit to offer the first tranche of up to 12 billion with a maturity period of 3.5 years and interest rate of 6.9829% per annum. And finally, Vistaland and Lifescapes posted a net income of 8.2 billion for the first 9 months of the year, up by 70% from the same period last year on the back of an 18% growth in revenue to 27.4 billion. The company has launched 28 projects with an estimated project value of about 40 billion pesos.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874. 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show today. I have a very interesting gentleman, and he's really from California, but he is, because I think he deals with animals all over the world, and that is really his job. He will be talking to us about earthquake today, and his name is Christopher Weber.
Yes, Chris. But call me Chris. That's easier.
Yeah, Weber. He is the co-founder and CEO of Animals Around the Globe, and we're going to be talking today about earthquakes and climate change that's affecting us all over the world. And help me welcome Mr. Chris Weber. Hi, Chris. How are you? I let you rap as if you're in the midst of beautiful Africa.
Exactly. Hey, Veronica. Nice to meet you. And hello to every listener out there. So yeah, I'm Chris from Animals Around the Globe. We are one of the largest animal information and news platforms in the world. We have like millions of visitors every month, and our goal is really to bring humans and animals closer together and help strengthen that bond.
And okay, well, with what you do, dealing with animals around the globe, animals are really creatures that are really sensitive when it comes to climate change, and also most of all when earthquakes come around, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, we're living in a world where more and more earthquakes occur. I think we're now at around 55 earthquakes per day, which is a lot around the globe. So, and earthquakes disrupt animal habitats is in many ways. And I mean, we can, I think, go through why and in which ways, but yeah, exactly. So I think if we look at the 3 steps, like pre-earthquake, what does it affect there? Especially earthquakes that are burrowing, like moths or even snakes in hibernation. They start feeling the earthquake way before anything happens, and that already leads to a disturbance in their behavior. And we have like a few examples. For instance, in China in 1975, snakes actually felt an earthquake and came out on the streets and started freezing basically to death because they left the hibernation phase. And similar, I think, to that in 2011 in the Japanese earthquake, like under deep water fish came up and were washed ashore because they felt, you know, some seismic movement already in the deep sea, and some gas coming up, most likely from tectonic like shifts, and that's what led them to come up. And yeah, and then like, I mean, like immediately during an earthquake, like in the next phase, we have like structures from malls or other like boring animals destroyed, and they have to build new, you know, new habitats. Their homes are lost as well. And yeah, I mean, like we have other animals such as elephants in the big earthquake in the Indian Ocean, like in Sri Lanka and in Thailand. Elephants were seeking shelter somewhere at higher ground before the earthquake already happened. So we see, you know, animals can feel earthquakes pretty soon. The same with like pets, like dogs and cats. If we observe them and see that they act out, most likely because of their hearing is much broader than ours, so they can hear frequency where already an earthquake is, you know, coming, and then they act out, and we should start to seek shelter when we see our dog, you know, going crazy. And then yeah,
What you're saying is that animals instinctively can predict earthquakes and all other natural calamities ahead of the human beings because of their more sensitive hearing, right?
yeah, their hearing, their sensitivity to vibration. I mean, some even can like sense electromagnetic fields, like bees, for instance. They will change their patterns because they behave like exactly through electromagnetic fields. When the earth shifts, that field changes, and then bees' behavior also is affected by that.
Very interesting. Is it also the same with the oncoming of tsunamis?
Mm.
Tsunamis?
Yeah. Most likely before tsunami, earthquake in some sort happened, right? So we see this behavior as well, like with the elephants, you know, that were seeking higher ground, or the fish coming up from the surface or from the deep sea. We see the same, and that could be, for instance, by the ocean because of groundwater changes. I mean, like, this can be caused by increased pressure underground that releases gas from fractured rocks, and that might be detectable by some animals, like this gas already. So that like changes the behavior before a tsunami, like in water and marine animals. Yeah.
We see. Wow. We just have to be watchful of our animals.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
And run with them.
Yeah.
I believe you. I believe that because
Okay.
I heard that from my grandparents and my parents growing up in the Philippines.
Mm.
Always be watchful of the animals' reaction.
What were they looking at, like at their dogs, or did they have other animals around that they could observe? Yeah.
Yep, they. I didn't even know that they do that because of their sensitivities to the environment or surrounding them.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yes, and so okay, Chris, can you please tell us the correlation between earthquake and climate change?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with yeah, the frequency going up with earthquakes, it is, yeah, it is. I think the correlation with climate change is very noticeable. And why is that? There are like multiple theories. One is that basically with the melting ice and the melting glaciers, sea levels could rise, and that affects the pressure on the tectonic plates, and that pressure could like force them to move more. And Exactly. So this increased water weight from rising sea levels might lead to subduction and then possibly trigger earthquakes. And yeah, so that's one actually one of the biggest or largest like impacts that climate change has: the water level that's rising and then the pressure on the tectonic plates.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. When did you found the Animals Around the Globe organization?
Oh, we found that together with my co-founder. We were co-workers at Google, and it was kind of like a hobby at the beginning 4 or 5 years ago, and yeah, something we really enjoyed to do. And since then we grew into it and now do it full time, and it's growing really healthily. And yeah, so 4 or 5 years ago.
It seems that the motto of your organization is bringing animals and humans closer together. How do you figure on doing that?
So there is like a quote by Steve Irwin, the Australian dude, who said that the more excitement you bring into the world around animals, the more people start falling in love. Like, people usually are interested in what they're excited about, and that's what they like want to protect, right? So our approach is, the more we get people excited about animals, the more they want to protect them. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's how also I became excited about animals. I went like on many like expeditions and adventures and diving trips with sharks and so on. And that's how I learned about a lot of animals and how I got excited about it. And then at some point I really wanted to start help protect them, because we are the smarter species, more intelligent species. And the smarter species also always has to take care about the other ones, So we're kind of the big brother to the animals.
There are many humans. I guess this is all over the world. I can just speak about the United States. And there are so many humans that are very affectionate to their animals, mostly to their cats and dogs.
Yeah.
That it includes this group of people, right? So animal lovers all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. We think like that. Yeah.
The awareness.
Exactly. The awareness of.
Is it your mission to really awaken the human owners and how to be watchful over their animals' reactions to the atmosphere or to the environment?
Yes.
How do you do that?
I mean, we built up a team of like scientists who are just focusing on that part. We call them our like expert team. They usually have a background in oceanography or marine biology or biology in general or veterinarian studies, and they really dig into the field of what happens in the world right now and bringing these like information to the surface to our readers. And that way we hope we can inform the mass and make them aware of what happens around us and how we can what changes we can see with animals also.
How do you when
Sorry?
it comes to I mean it comes human beings association with the animals?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
How do you see what's coming up to our world when because your mission is to bring the humans and animals closer together. So what is in the future by doing this?
I think the idea is that we respect animals for what they are essentially, and notice that they need our protection, and that we need to be aware of their space and keep wild things wild and not interfere with it. We do have our domestic animals, and that's fine. We can connect with them on that level, and with wild animals we will connect on a different level with, because they need to stay wild, and need to preserve this beauty of wildness that we otherwise might destroy.
Wildlife.
The
For the
wildlife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
And are you really more concerned to reaching out to the wildlife when it comes to the environment instead of the domestic animals?
Yeah, I mean, it's easier for people to develop a connection to their domestic animals, and it gives them a window into the animal world. But the wildlife is the next step from there, that they also start caring about the wildlife, not just their immediate pets, because the wildlife, I mean, doesn't give them a direct emotional bond, but it gives them a window into the world, how a world works without our thinking, and without any human interference, which is very beautiful.
With what you do you travel? I bet you travel a lot around the world.
Yeah. No, we do. Yeah. We will have next month now our offsite with our whole team in South Africa in the Kruger National Park, and where we will hopefully be able to observe wildlife. There are beautiful spots all around the world where you can do that, and we're also trying to bring that more to our readers with opportunities and verified wildlife guides that they can book tours with, to observe wildlife from a distance, but in a eco-friendly way also.
There are so many wildlife in Africa, and it's a huge country.
Yes, I mean, it's a huge continent with so many different
Continent, right?
Yeah, so many different angles to what to see, and I mean, Africa and the oceans are big fields where a lot of wildlife in this world still takes place. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, and I mean, the interconnectedness between those things. For instance, most of our oxygen comes actually from plankton in the ocean, and that plankton is kept in check by by a lot of different marine animals, such as whales and other types of fish and so on, and they eat the plankton, and that balance is very important. If these animals wouldn't eat the plankton, then the plankton would take over the oceans potentially, and make this planet kind of unlivable, because we wouldn't have then kind of a green ocean. So that's another, so many the interplays are there in the world that we need to look out for.
What you do is very interesting, exciting, and full of adventure. And
No, it is.
and so one last word before we sign off.
For sure. So please, to everyone who listened to us, I mean, with this interview, we hope it's clear how everything is interconnected, and we need to keep things wild and keep wild things protected, because these wild things make up these interplays that we live on. Otherwise, we as human species wouldn't survive. So keep things wild.
Great, terrific. I salute you for the great job that you're doing in trying to interconnect the human beings with the no, with the animals.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank you.
And the marine lives too. Okay. Well, Mr. Chris Weber, thank you so much for gracing our show today. And I wish you good luck and all the things that you're doing for the world. And thank you. Maraming salamat. At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Oh, dapat!
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show today. I have a very exciting guest from our community and he is a very exciting person and of course he's a multi-talented person and invited him for an interview today. And his name is Mr. Romeo Sobra Peña. Hi, Romy. How are you?
Mabuti naman. Magandang araw sa inyo tanan.
Magandang araw din sa iyo. At, okay.
Tanan is Ilonggo.
A very multi-talented person. He will be talking to us about his project, which is in theater. And but the first thing, Romeo, please tell our viewing audience about a little background of your talent and also a little bit of education and where you are from, the Philippines.
Born in Iloilo City in 1948, a family of 12. My mom married twice. After the first husband passed away, she married my father. Total of 12 children, and only 5 of us left. One living in Mandaluyong with her hubby, and the other 3 in Tigbawan, Iloilo. Yeah.
So, how long have you been living here in Chicago?
I immediately after graduating from the university in 1969, I made it to the United States to become a medical technology intern in one of the hospitals in Waukegan, Illinois. Yeah.
From Waukegan, Illinois.
Yes.
Right. Very good. And you've been living in Waukegan for many years, right?
Well, I actually am living in Lindenhurst now, another suburb, about 60 miles from Chicago, between Milwaukee and Chicago. Yes.
Okay, and I I see you around our community as a very good dancer too.
Yeah, I love to boogie.
Okay, very good, very good. That's why you look good. Okay, Romeo, well, I've just learned very recently about your involvement in the arts, and
Yes.
this is in the performing arts. And can you please tell us about that? Your performing background and activities?
Yeah, I started getting involved in American theater in 1993. To date, I've been involved in 68 productions, and I've portrayed over 60 different characters with different accents and all that. So, um, while at the university, I was a member of the Little Theater, and I was Judge Blakely in the Cane Mutiny. So somehow the theater bug bit me a little bit earlier while in the Philippines, and became more intense when I made it to the United States. I love being on stage. It's nice to be someone else other than yourself. And I like to portray character roles, particularly murderers. I tell people, my friends, the reason why I'm so inspired to be in a character role because it's very challenging, particularly murderers. I tell my friends, you know why I like to play murderers? Because I have a long list of people who inspire me. Like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. just just a sort of like a way of interpreting the character. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right. What kind of roles are your favorite so far?
Well, I was the Spanish ambassador for 3 years, Conde de Feria. That's why I have that costume, which I made years ago. I was also the drunken bandido at the Fright Fest, which is an annual thing with Six Flags. I played Lippo, the Italian character with the Italian accent, and of course the current character, which is Sago, who is an art dealer, very energetic, vibrant, and laughing all the time. So those are a few of the characters that I've enjoyed portraying over the years. Yes.
Congratulations. I realize that we have a performing artist in our, where we have been
Yeah.
together in our dance sessions. And
Oh.
I just learned that he's a performing artist. And so far, when did this talent get started, Romeo?
You know, I think because of the influx of Western influences like movies, televisions, and all that, I think, and I being an avid movie addict, I always made it a point when I was growing up to see whatever Western movies were out there, and what may have honed my ability was the fact that I was a student radio announcer at the university for almost 2 years. So the experience helped me hone my elocution, my uh, you know, so at my and oh, the fact that I was also a member of the Little Theater, like I said earlier, I played Judge Blakely. So yeah, and I just love being on stage. The difference between an American-born actor and me, because I was born in the Philippines, growing up English was not my first language. So now, having lived here for 50 years, one could say, yeah, Romeo, you can't say that English is not your first language anymore because you've been here for almost 50 years. Nonetheless, memorizing lines, more challenging to me in comparison to someone born here. Because for me, I have to memorize the lines word for word, verbatim. So throw into that inflection, intonation, and then the associated feelings to the lines that are involved. So it's very, very challenging. You should see me whenever it's my turn to enter the scene. I always make the sign of the cross and play to all the heavens above and say, like, God, please don't make me screw up my lines. Please don't. I was in a play one time. I had to deliver 3 full pages of lines. Yes. Oh my God. Luckily, I didn't fail. So thank you, God.
Great, terrific.
Yes.
Now, who inspired you into acting?
No one in particular, really. I think it was more of an inner drive, more than anything else, to be someone else. I mean, I'm sure we all have vivid imaginations. We want to be someone else. I mean, little girls, they want to be Cinderella. Little boys, they want to be like Captain Marvel or Superman or whatever. So I think it is inherent in us to be someone else other than ourselves. In my case, I developed it to the extent that I'm now on stage and enjoying it. At 75, there are not too many rules for me. So whatever is out there, I'll try my best to audition and hopefully get it. By the way, diversity was never an issue with me because in 1993, from 1993, I got cast without any issue. Bringing a point into fore the fact that if you have the talent, never mind how different you look, you'll be fine. So
It's a natural talent for you.
thank you.
So, for having such a talent. And Romeo, okay, please.
Obviously I owe it to my parents, my mom and my dad. So
Oh, I see.
I inherited something from them.
Oh, it runs in the family. All right. You have a thespian blood. That's what we call you. Okay, Romeo, can you please tell our viewing audience about your very recent project and where to see you?
Oh yeah, this is the flyer. We still have 3 more performances this week. Tonight, Thursday, buy one, get one ticket free. So 2 for the price of 1. The play starts at 7:30 at the James Lumber Center for the Performing Arts in Grace Lake. Yes, parking is wonderful. Traffic, practically nothing. So yeah, and it's cheap. And you get to see me and enjoy your kapwa Filipino on stage. Mabuhay!
Hi.
Yes.
Good luck and congratulations.
Salamat.
I wish I could see you, but I can't see you.
I'll pretend you're in the best seat in the theater tonight.
Okay. Well, Mr. Romeo Sobra Peña, thank you for gracing our show today, and wish you good luck in
Maraming salamat.
your acting career.
Yeah. Mabuhay!
Maraming salamat. And At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon, this is Bridget Carino-Quetter bringing you this week's local news from our community. With Chicago's ongoing migrant crisis becoming more pronounced by the day, local activist Theo Hardiman is calling on Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson to reverse policy when it comes to its sanctuary city status. There have been over 7,400 plus armed robberies in Chicago this year. Over 540 people have been killed and the crime continues to increase, he said. Now we have a mayor spending more time attempting to fix a crisis that was created by bad policy. Hardiman further estimates that there are already thousands of homeless people spread across the city with the government not doing nearly enough to address the issue. Why not ask for $5 billion to hire a lot of these young guys in Chicago that are committing crimes, he said. Let's raise $5 billion to get them off the streets, provide some type of employment to help them and reduce the gun violence. It's like a plague of violence roaming around our city right now, and all of a sudden you step up to the plate for people coming from a distant land. The Illinois Lottery and the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs launched the 2023 Winter Riches Instant Ticket today, where 100% of its profits are directed to organizations supporting veterans in Illinois. Illinois Lottery Director Harold Mays and IDVA Director Terry Prince presented the ticket to kick off its availability at 7,000 retail stores in Illinois. Launched in 2006, the ticket has generated more than $21 million, and approximately 400 veterans organizations statewide have received funds. We are honored to partner with IDVA and the great organizations that benefit from the Veterans Cash Grants, said Illinois Lottery Director Harold Mays. Knowing that our specialty ticket offers entertainment and a chance to win for our players, but also benefits our country's servicemen and women, brings me great pride. We thank Director Prince and all of his staff for ensuring these funds go to these essential organizations. The Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs awards these funds generated from the ticket in the form of Veterans Cash Grants to organizations providing services, including housing assistance, long-term care, disability benefits, employment services, and treatment for post-traumatic stress. The Cook County Sheriff's Office hopes to crack down on human trafficking. Child porn and prostitution have a wave of recent arrests over a 2-week period, highlighting the enormity of the problem. Sheriff Tom Dart said it's essential that not only the federal government, but internet sites and parents take action to fight this growing trend. Although Cook County is a leader in fighting such crimes, he said, it's more than law enforcement can tackle alone. Instead, it must be a 3-pronged attack, involving the federal government, internet sites used to perpetuate these crimes, and parents as watchdogs of their children. They need to work on their sites, whether it be filters or whatever, and they need to work with us in law enforcement when things aren't right. They need to be doing this with passion because they're interested in stopping this, and not by profiting out of it, he said. The Illinois Veterans Home at Manteno is experiencing an increase in COVID-19 cases among its veterans and staff. There are 19 residents and 11 staff who have tested positive for COVID-19, and all are presenting mild symptoms. The positive residents have been administered antiviral treatment, and no one has been hospitalized. The home continues to follow all infection prevention policies, including encouraging residents to stay in their rooms to minimize movement, social distancing, masking in direct care areas, and intensified cleaning and disinfection protocols. Amplified testing during the outbreak has been established for residents and staff. Communal dining, group activities, and all non-essential outings have been curtailed in the affected areas until the outbreak ends. Winter storms can arrive quickly and with little warning, said Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security, IEMA, OHS, Director Alicia Tate-Nadeau. Being prepared ensures the safety and well-being of families throughout the season. Each winter season, nearly 29,000 motor vehicles crash in Illinois, producing 4,500 injuries and 80 fatalities, added National Weather Service NWS Central Illinois Warning Coordination meteorologist Ed Scheiman. That is why it is imperative that people plan ahead and prepare for winter weather impacts. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.